This podcast is sponsored by Elevations. Do you want to distinguish yourself from everybody else in the competition? Do you want to get the absolute best buyers in the country? Do you want to close more accounts than anybody else in the market? Well, use Elevations. Welcome back to LA Legends, where Aflac pros sharpen skills, swap stories, and build the LA market one legend at a time. I'm Michael Fisher.
And I'm Michelle Lee. Each week, we bring insights from industry leaders who built consistent, accountable systems that deliver results in business, leadership, and life.
It definitely separates good teams from the great ones, and that topic is asset management. Okay, I'm just going to say asset management. So we are going to break it down with a very special guest, a newly promoted regional sales coordinator, Chris Leininger, a very disciplined leader, has great systems, great accountability, but the scoreboard is absolutely backing it up. In fact, she is going to be joining Mr. Damon John on a boat from Shark Tank. So congratulations on that. And it's because you are going after this. So we are super fired up to have you, Chris.
So Chris has built her team that doesn't just chase goals. They track, they measure, they repeat success through structure. And we'll talk through that, about what it looks like daily, what the tools that she uses with her team to drive consistency, and how accountability builds that freedom for them. So
can you kind of walk through just your overall philosophy for asset management, how you approach it from a leadership perspective?
I am, I should say, blessed in that I have some very competent veterans on my team who do a great job of managing their assets. When I'm recruiting and I'm presenting and during my info session, I talk about closing a new account. One thing I say is, ideally, when you close a new account, this is going to be an account that you maintain as a client for the rest of your life. And you're going to get repeat business from them, hopefully every month, quarter. And, especially if you're smart about how you manage your book of business, keeping accounts around for as long as possible. Really good service. That is one of the most effective ways to maintain your clients in the long run and consistently get good enrollment opportunities and build trust and have positive feedback and internal advocacy at the group. We all know that it only takes one bad experience to poison the well, and then no one wants to talk to you. No one wants to let you in. But a good experience can also have a positive effect where people do want to come see you and talk to you, and they trust you because their coworker felt like they had a good experience with you or with Aflac in general.
Yeah, I could tell you that, like, when we look at your why and just like why you do what you do, I remember that one of the first ACMs that we were in together, you were on a panel. You're like, you make more money, you get renewals, you get referrals, and you also help build a legacy because a lot of these accounts do stick. So how do you approach asset management that way?
So I try to not let more than 24 hours go by without responding to a client. I have to admit, my weak spot is voicemails.
Yeah. People shouldn't leave them. They're terrible.
But I do have an admin who is awesome. And I don't think I would be as effective without an admin. And some of my team members utilize my admin as well for asset management.
And you actually had an admin as a DSC as well, right? You got a DSC or a admin while you were a DSC.
Yes, before I went on maternity leave.
Yeah.
And then I kept her.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because I'm like, well, I'm not going back. This is great.
This is great.
I'm just going to send claims to her and she can file them and she can help people. I try not to let more than 24 hours go by. This may not be a wise practice, but a lot of my clients do have my cell phone number. And even though I'm an RSE, I do still respond via text, even if it's just to direct them to somebody else. In terms of scheduling open enrollments, FBOB is helpful. A lot of the veterans on my team already have scheduled their enrollments before. So our FBOB numbers kind of suck usually when we're reporting.
But your asset management doesn't, though.
So we do utilize benefit letters.
You guys use touch point, for sure.
We did use touch points for a open enrollment recently. And I think it went well. It helped this particular agent and her account be way more efficient in reaching out. And we're going to be using it for a couple other enrollments moving forward. But yeah, touch points was helpful. Emails.
Landing page. No, don't use the landing page. Yeah, safe place. This is not sponsored by landing pages.
Sometimes. But we do use flyers. We do send out emails to people, text messages, phone calls. Sometimes we use Calendly, or you can book me. The more touch points you can utilize when reaching out to people, the better. If you want to get into your accounts and you want to keep selling and you want to write more, get in there by telling them that you're going to help them get money back. We always have the wellness report printed for every single enrollment. Like, no one goes into an enrollment without a wellness not filed report. Any large case that an agent is enrolling on, like, they're required to help with claims to some degree. It works well for us. We continue to be able to sell because of that.
You brought up that you start mentioning taking care of accounts and servicing in your recruiting process.
Mhm.
So if I was someone brand new today, let's talk about new associates coming through sales school. How do I start building that rhythm of, okay, I'm starting to close my accounts.
Mhm.
How do I get in that cadence of servicing? What does that look like? Is there a time period, the frequency? Talk us through, if I was someone brand new today, I've got a few accounts under my belt. What's that process look like for you and your team?
We've run some servicing workshops, and we tell everyone, like, you have to respond to your clients. You have to respond to policyholder inquiries. If you want to get in there for new hires, definitely prior to open enrollment, pull the claims report in advance.
What about when somebody is a brand new associate on your team and they close their first account, do you guys do a service binder? Do you guys have a conversation around that? What does it look like when somebody closes an account?
Ideally, we're not leaving the open enrollment without having already scheduled the deduction report delivery appointment. We don't leave that appointment without having scheduled the how to log in and pay and adjust your first invoice appointment. I encourage, everyone to ask for referrals and remind the accounts how to utilize the value adds, because I
Yeah,
think it creates more value if they actually use the value adds.
Mm-hmm.
that's true.
And if dental and vision is involved, there needs to be, I think, a longer conversation
But making
about
sure that they're in the portal. We always talk about walking out of the DM conversation either with a yes or a no, and making sure that we have dates established, but also walking away from the enrollment, making sure that the deduction summary, that date's established, and the first invoice date. So that's awesome. I love that.
It's
Yeah.
teaching your accounts how to use the systems to help them out versus just doing everything in, because we get overextended. The more accounts you close, you get more extended. So how do you actually show our accounts how to do that? And that first invoice review helps and goes a long way.
100%.
Mhm. Oh, and we set up auto draft. I do that.
Nice. Yeah.
I got to throw that in there.
Struggling to connect with business owners? The Site Seller gives you the facts, talking points, and solutions you need right at your fingertips. Build trust, show value, and close deals with confidence. Site Seller, where conversations turn into partnerships.
So when it comes to servicing, you mentioned your team is heavily on servicing your accounts. And I was like that as a district myself, responding within 24 hours and helping them along the way. Servicing, showing up, how do you make it meaningful versus it just being that routine visit? You know what I mean? Because we're building relationships with our accounts, but also our policyholders. So how do we actually continue to add value?
Instead of being like, I just want to sell the new people.
How do you continue to add value as a partnership to that account?
Well, I think it's important to take care of the people that have the decision-making capacity at that account. So we are all at the beck and call of the HR manager, the owner. Like, if they have a claim or a pending claim, like, we are going to help them
You're all
file
over
it, like, right away. If I have to get their medical records for them, I am getting their medical records. I don't want an owner or an HR manager having a bad experience. Because if they have a bad experience, forget it. Like, they can shut you out completely. That is huge. I will bend over backwards for owners and HR managers all day long. I usually will many times get their records for them.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm crazy.
I mean, only halfway. It's a good call.
Or I'm at least partially involved. Like, I will get them a good chunk of the way there so
Yeah.
that it's very easy for them. Because if they have a bad experience, again, like forget it. We do a lot of gift drop-offs. Like we bring lunch, dessert, flat goodies.
So you guys do that with your existing book a lot?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Not all of them, but
But the good
definitely,
ones.
like definitely some of them for sure. We're bringing stuff by. Yeah, because there's a lot of competitors out there. We want to keep them committed to Aflac. We are big advocates of using value-added services. The wellness report is huge because you can see how much money is owed to people and who hasn't filed, and that's a really easy way to get in. People want their money.
So how do you track what open enrollments are set, which ones, what's been completed, what's not completed, and how do you manage your team through that process?
So, first of all, my team is really good about this, so they don't need a lot of management, thankfully.
Awesome. Love that.
But the DSCs and a recorder, do a roadmap to fame planning session, which always involves looking at their existing assets and projecting how much they think they're going to write in each of them. So that helps keep, I think, those on track.
So one of the things that we always talk about as a market is trying to set the tone, and that tone is absolutely set with your team, where they are like, money comes from this, retention comes from this, renewals come from it. So like, it's something that once people know the why behind it, they just do it, and your team follows you. You're leading from the front here. I mean, this is not something that you're asking them to do, something that you're unwilling to do yourself. So for somebody that actually has not been, the best in asset management, what's like one thing that you'd be like, hey, do this on your calendar just as a starting point to start getting better for asset management?
Calendar block time for asset management in terms of reaching out, or even if it's just once a month.
Yeah.
A couple hours built into your calendar where you're doing some sort of reach out for the next couple of months, just to get a meeting scheduled. So think of it that way. If there's 10 new hires at a business or one of your existing accounts, but you're leaving that, you're kind of ignoring them and you're out there prospecting. Definitely, obviously prospecting of business development is super important, but also that's like a new account sitting in your book. 10 employees. And it is easier to retain than convert a new business to become a new client.
Absolutely.
Retaining is easier than conversion if you do a good job of it.
That servicing makes a huge part of being able to get back in that second, third, fourth year. If you open a new account, this happens a lot, where we open a new account and we don't service it and you can't get back in. And that lessens the ability to get back in the following year, and it becomes one of our dormant accounts. So
one of my biggest pet peeves is when we're out there prospecting, and I'm sure everyone has run into this, and you talk to a business and they say, yeah, we're not interested because we had Aflac before and we couldn't get our claims paid and our agent stopped responding. I talked to a business owner today on the phone with a broker. It's her existing account. She wanted to bring Aflac in, so we're on the phone together, and he was like, yeah, no, thank you, because we had Aflac before. I had with a previous client or a previous employer where I was in management there, and 200 employees, a ton of us had claims. They got denied. No one helped us. I literally will never consider Aflac again. And I'm like so pained inside when I think that, because I'm like, if I had been your agent, that would not have happened. Or someone on my team, that would not have happened. And now wherever this guy works, he's never going to let Aflac in. And when you don't service your accounts, you're literally ruining the marketplace for everyone and for your future self.
I know, that's a fact.
The ripple effect.
Like, if you're not going to service your accounts, don't even sell Aflac. I don't know if Michael wants me to say that, but
no, amen. I do want you to
say second and third.
Like, please don't, because it is just going to ruin the Aflac brand, and please don't do that for the rest of us.
Heck yeah.
Sponsored by.
Hard truth right there.
Attracting and keeping the best talent means offering more than just a paycheck. Aflac Value Added Services delivers real-life support for your team. Advocacy and Wellness, 3 programs from Health Advocate SM offered in combination. From medical bill savings to legal guidance and wellness coaching, employees get the help that they need when it matters most. Aflac value-added services because supporting your team means supporting their whole well-being.
Let's pivot a little bit into leadership, and I say that because we leverage the book of business quite a bit when it comes to bringing someone in, to developing them, and then through the cycle, right, for that career growth that they are looking for, and as well as being part of the team. How do you right now, as a region, identify potential future leaders within your own team when it comes to the way they handle their book of business?
I definitely pay attention to how responsive people are to their clients and to people that how they reach out to maybe even one of my clients that they had the
Yeah.
opportunity and privilege to enroll, how professional they were in their response. Did they actually take time to like get the correct answer? Um, I will tell you, I had one agent who decent at selling, but like never responded to people, and I would never consider that person for leadership. I decided I probably wouldn't be inviting that person to future enrollments. It speaks to your character, your integrity.
We're supposed to be there at their people's like worst moment a lot of times in their lives and be that one, shining light for them, being there for that moment. And it feels amazing, but that actually shows exactly who that person is. And that's a great leadership test. Absolutely.
Someone who's lost their way when they said yes to begin with to this opportunity, because a lot of times we say yes because we want to help the individual out, and they lose sight of that, and they get lost in, okay, I just need to make the money side of it. But if we don't help that individual on the back end side when they need us the most, then what are we doing? Because
Yeah.
that's the end game, is to
Mhm.
help as many of those individuals when they need us the most, and
Yeah.
before it happens as well. So
Mhm.
we lose sight of that
Yeah, it's
characteristics
like
that we are looking at.
So every person that you were leading last quarter, they did hit their VIPs, which were amazing. You also, each one of your leaders hit their quotas. I know you shared a story with me on one account that you took a little bit different of an approach and got incredible access. So tell us about that one.
was a little bit of an act of God, but
Nice. We'll
um,
take it.
but so it started with there's a new HR person. So I'll
Mhm.
take you back to the beginning. New HR person, and so I decided that I wanted to go meet with her in person because this is an important account. I always have decent enrollment, outcomes there. So and I didn't want to lose this because of a new HR person. So I took the time to go meet her in person. I brought the scope of work. I did the whole scope of work thing, got her excited about it, resold her on one-on-one enrollment conditions and why it's important using the scope of work. We did our normal, so she agreed to one-on-one enrollment conditions. I set up appointments in advance using Google Sheets. One thing I did is I said, hey, we have special GI Life that we're
Mhm.
offering with reduced requirements. And Aflac's letting us do it at your business. I think it's going to be great for your employees. There's no medical questions. I said, I'm going to put that in the benefit letters to them and let them know. And I'm going to send you an email with a blurb. Can you send that out to your employees? She's like, yeah, of course. So I typed it up, sent it out. She sent it to everyone. And then on top of that, my enrollers did a training. I did like a 1 hour, like everyone who was going to be there had to be on Zoom. We talked about everything. So we were all in alignment. And then I pre-quoted everyone. I
Wow.
sound like a psycho, but
No, this is good. This is gold.
I pre-quoted everyone. Actually, I made my husband do it. So
Nice. Making the spouse do the hard work.
It's a family business.
Yeah.
it is a family
Yes,
business.
it is.
So right? All of us
Yeah.
can agree in this room. Yeah.
For sure.
So I printed these like quote templates for training purposes only.
Nice.
And we looked at all because it's a highly penetrated account. So we looked at everyone's existing, what they're currently enrolled in, and then quoted them on what they weren't enrolled in,
Right.
and then gave everyone a GI whole life quote, 25,000 and 50,000.
Nice.
And I told each enroller, you are required to show them their full quote. Like, you can't just basically I didn't
You
leave the
can't just do
picking and choosing.
25,000.
What killed me is there were some 10-year term life policies that people were enrolled in. They were like 40 years old. They were in a 10-year term policy.
You can do a quick rant on that. That's terrible.
I think
Yeah,
that is like an
waste of money.
injustice,
Yeah, I
and
agree.
it is a waste of money. Don't even mention that. Like, why would you sell someone a 10-year term policy if they're under 60,
It makes zero
whatever?
sense.
We got rid of all those, and basically they were required to quote everything on that quote sheet. Instead of picking and choosing what to quote, they were showing them all of their options, and they were required to show everyone their whole life, starting with a whole life
Yeah.
GI quote at both levels. And then I had a pre-printed document with like the benefits of whole life, and they were supposed to talk about like some of the highlights. We were all reporting to one another when we got sold a GI app because, we had to meet the minimum. So we needed like 14. But by the time we were done, I think we honestly enrolled closer to 30 or more.
Doubled the minimum
Or
participation. That's
more.
awesome.
Yeah.
More than doubled.
50,000 in sales when I was like, hopefully we do 15,000 because that's what we did last year. I just want to like keep
That's
up
awesome.
with
That's
what we did
amazing.
last year. And people were coming in saying, oh, I want the whole life because my friend told me like he just got it or she just got it.
So let's like highlight and underscore a couple things. There's one was it took a little bit of prep, but you went through the book pre-quoted. You made somebody at home named Matt also, but no, to do that work, and that absolutely, that's a distinguishing factor that it is more work, but when you write 50 grand of our highest commission product, I think it's probably worth it.
And everyone was trying to hit goals, and it was like the week 37 and week 38.
And like that's a healthy, good product for people to actually have anyways in general. You got people out of coverages that they probably shouldn't necessarily be in because let's be real, that's kind of, it's a product that I don't feel comfortable even offering myself. The other ones are you had a standard and expectation. So your associates that were part of the enrollment, there was a training and expectations there. There was communication. These are all things that at the exact same account, a lot of people will write 5, 10. So it's about what you do with the assets. So great job on that. That was a really good example. You can continue to do things like that. I mean, yeah.
I'm going to peel back even further was she knew what the new HR, I got to present a professional relationship partnership with them
Yeah.
and walking them through the scope of work agreement and just having that like very down the line conversation like this is how we do business.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's the type of HR that if she has a bad experience, she will kick us out.
Yeah.
But you did all the work around that as well. So
Yeah.
as you walk through that scope of work, sharing your professionalism with her, and this is the partnership, why we should still be part of this company. And then you followed through with it by doing all that prep, that training, making sure your team was ready to go. So expectations, prep work, all of that set up before it even happened.
When you were saying that, I was like, as a region, would I have actually gone in person myself and to even like think to do that? So I think that's just huge, and you own that book, and that's amazing.
That's leading from the front.
Definitely leading from the front. 100%.
Start your week strong with the Monday morning meeting. Tune in for team accolades that celebrate success, contests that keep you motivated, and announcements that keep you ahead. Don't just start your Monday, own it with the Monday morning meeting.
I think we'll have people mad at me if I don't at least ask this. So this is hopefully another quick actionable one. Can you just really quickly explain your Google Sheets thing that you just completely just said, oh yeah, I do this all the time.
I don't do it for every account, but for this one, this particular group, I've historically been able to get them to actually pre-book appointments. And so I create a like appointment schedule for each day based on the number of enrollers that are going to be there. And then I send that, it's a fillable sheet. They send it out to their employees. The employees are supposed to pick a time slot. And then those that don't, respond, HR gets more involved with it. And then we work from that Google Sheet to make sure that we see each person. We had a separate document with their phone numbers because she didn't want to make their phone numbers public. It worked great. I don't think we missed a single person. Even people who were on leave of absence called us. I build in a lunch break because I want to make sure my enrollers don't pass out.
So
That's a Dove personality.
Yeah. This is our rapid fire lightning round, sponsored by PAS, Professional Admin Services. What is the book that you found most influential for yourself, and that you would like most people to read, either on your team or in this marketplace?
Well, right now, my entire region is all about the ultimate sales machine.
Nice. Chet
so
Holmes.
I think you
Bringing
knew
that
that was
back.
coming.
I did not. That makes me happy though.
What?
What, Michelle?
I was going to say, if you've joined us in a previous podcast, Chet Holmes got a shout out multiple times.
Yeah.
By who?
By Michael and I.
Yeah. For sure.
Well, I learned it from Michael. So, I mean, yeah, that book, The 7 Habits. I think about that book a lot sometimes.
7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just a couple things in there.
Yeah,
and
the
then,
plotting of your time and it's
just like communicating with people. And
that's actually one we need to bring back. That's a good one.
There's a lot of good books
been a
that we've
while.
read at the very beginning that need to come
and I
back,
just
so.
finished Let Them.
I'm in the middle of that right now.
Yeah.
By Mel Robbins. That's her
I'll
new
check it
book
out.
last year. I think came out last year
Yeah.
or earlier this year.
Nice.
This year.
This year.
Yeah. So many of them. So mine would be what $100 or $300 or less purchase you've made this year that has made the biggest impact on your business life.
Well, a lot of it's been either more. A lot of it's been more, but the flash drives and the adapter that I have that allow me to print professional items here in the office and also project on the screen has very much helped my business. And then also my cart, my mom cart that I.
If you don't have one,
I need to get on
you
that.
should invest. I think it's the best thing for not as a parent, but also for enrollments.
Yeah.
When you have a lot of stuff.
Did you never have a cart when you were enrolling?
No.
How
When
did
was the
you?
last time?
How?
Well, actually, hold on. When was the last time you actually enrolled?
I don't
It's
know.
been a long time.
1975. I mean, maybe.
When you were still an egg and
I
you
was
presented.
enrolled.
Presented.
Yeah.
But not
Correct.
enrolled
Correct.
when you're still an egg.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, final one. If you could pay for a billboard, keep it in front of on the 405 that your team has to drive by and read this message every single day, what
My
would that?
team.
Yeah, your team and the LA market, because we're all
Okay.
one team, one dream.
Do something that your future self is going to be grateful for.
That's good.
Or can I say one other thing?
Yeah. Or
She's going to have two. So
Or
she's
I know I'm so bad at picking just one thing. I like to tell my team, focus on getting just 1% better. So like focus on getting 1% better each day or each week or whatever.
that's a great
But
one.
1% better.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
That is a good
1%
one.
better. I love that. Awesome.
Well, Chris, thank you so much for joining us today. Your perspective on structure and rhythm is such a reminder that consistency actually compounds and grows.
Yes, it does. And when cadence and accountability align, everything else follows. That was awesome. Thank you so much, Chris. And for our listeners, please take a moment today, look at your own assets, take 1 or 2 takeaways, get 1% better, and don't let those assets manage you. We want you to manage those assets. There we go.
Love it.
So you've been listening to the LA Legend. Subscribe, share, and join us next time. Keep building, keep tracking, keep leading.